Hello everyone, good evening. A very warm welcome to Mekon Communication Club. So as for the business session today, I have a couple of updates from my end. That is, in the next upcoming on 31st, we will not have the meeting on Monday, but instead we'll be having the meeting on April 1st, that is on Tuesday. So I request everyone to be here on Tuesday, that is April 1st, and not on March 31st, that is the Monday. So that is number one update. And secondly, we also have a special education session planned on April 1st. That is our DK Vaibhav will be taking a very good education session on speech writing. So make sure you're all available and make sure you're here on time so that you can make best out of that particular session. And on the very important note, we have renewals coming up. So if you have not renewed so far, please make sure that you have renewed. Share the screenshot with the Vice President of Membership and also with the Treasurer. So with that, I would like to end the business session and I request the Acting Sergeant Arms of the Toastmasters Shreya to take over. Thank you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Oprah Winfrey grew up poor in a small town in Mississippi and she struggled throughout most of her early years. But when she grew up, she focused on investing in her education, her communication skills, and her personal development. And all of this investing has caused her to build a multimedia empire and made her the person who she is today, one of the most influential women in the world. The founder of Spanx didn't know anything about business, about fashion. She had zero experience in these fields, but she decided to invest the last savings that she had, $5,000, into learning about business, learning about marketing, learning about fashion and clothes. And she ended up building a multi-billion-dollar industry that, from ground up she built whatever she did just by investing in herself. So, what does investing in yourself actually means? I guess technically it means putting in money to help improve yourself, but also it can mean doing small daily habits like waking up early in the morning, drinking a glass of water. Basically anything that makes you a better person than what you were yesterday, that is considered as investing in yourself. And we do it all the time. I go to music class, Chetan goes to swimming. I bet a lot of people here invest in themselves by reading the news, by reading any, like self-help books, non-fiction things. Anything that makes you a better person, makes you have a little bit more knowledge than what you had yesterday, that's considered as investing in yourselves. And all of us in this room have one thing in common, and that is that we invest in ourselves every week by coming here to Toastmasters. I'm sure that every single person in this room would raise their hands when asked if Toastmasters and Mekon Communication Club has changed their lives for the better. I hope for the better. Speaking about our club, today's acting president is someone who is a marketing associate at App Week. She has invested in herself educationally by gaining a bachelor's degree in electronics and communication and an MBA in marketing and HR. To relax and kind of, let off steam, she likes listening to music, watching movies, reading books, and other things like that. She, in the world of Toastmasters, she has made an impact by being the charter president of BMS MBA through our Toastmasters. She has served as the PR chair of Encore 2022, and she has also served as the past director of A1 of District 121. So please join me with a huge round of applause to welcome our acting president, Toastmasters Sindhushree.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shreya, for such an elaborate introduction. It's fine to skip a point or two here and there. Absolutely okay. A very warm welcome to all the guests and all the Toastmasters, and I hope you have a wonderful evening today. So, since we have a couple of guests in the room today, I would request you to stand from where you are, introduce yourself a little bit, and help us understand why you're here and how did you hear about us, and just for the benefit of everybody who's here in the audience. So can you please introduce yourself?
Good evening. Myself, Anil Maitri. I was a Toastmaster earlier in 2018, okay, from the Toastmaster Club. Okay, then after that I traveled to Germany and I came back now. And I wanted to restart my Toastmaster journey, and I checked with some of my Toastmaster friends, Sonali. She mentioned this club, why did I here? So that's why I'm here, and I'm visiting other Toastmaster club. Okay, I came to start my Toastmaster journey, which I find where I find why I can connect with the people and start my journey.
Thank you so much. I hope this is your last talk so that you can join our club very soon. And then we request you to do.
I'm Sikram. I'm basically a student of engineering student studying in BIT Electronic and Communication Engineering. I got to know about Toastmasters from last year only. Have attended one of the Toastmasters at Jain College, but that club was now closed. That's why I want to improve my communication skills and leadership skills, and I want to build communication networks to the people. That's why I'm coming here.
That's very wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. We have another guy. So please, could you please introduce yourself? You were here? Okay. Till you become a member, we request you to introduce yourself to us.
Yes. Myself, Baswaraj, I'm working in a technical and enterprise limited as an associate manager. I stay in North Karnataka. I came to know the Toastmasters from my colleague, so to improve myself communication and leadership.
Thank you.
This is my second session.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank you so much for introducing yourself. I hope you have a wonderful meeting along with all of us. To proceed forward, I would like to request our Associate Secretary Toastmaster Jyothi to read out the minutes of the meeting.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Here are the minutes of meeting number 1309 held on the 17th of March 2025. The theme was World Through Lens, Word of the Day, Evaluator. The business session started at 6:17 p.m. and was chaired by President Toastmasters Pavni CR. In the business sessions, the following points were addressed. The renewal of membership was open from April to September term. Members were requested to renew their membership as the deadline is the 28th of March 2025. The regular meeting started at 6:20 p.m. Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Madhusudan started the meeting with an introduction about the theme and later handed over the charge to President Toastmaster Pavni. President Toastmaster Pavni opened the meeting, spoke on the theme and introduced the Master of Ceremonies, DTM Udanka, Arjun Jain. Master of Ceremonies, DTM Udanka spoke on the theme and introduced the following role takers for the day. Timer Toastmaster Sakshi, R-Counter Toastmaster Rachana, PP Evaluator Toastmaster Shivaprasad Sharma, Grammarian Toastmaster Jyothi Rao. The prepared speech session had the following speakers. Speaker 1 Toastmaster Bhavna S. Hulla for the Strategic Relationship Level 1 Project 2, Evaluator Toastmaster Sindhushree. Speaker 2 Toastmaster Prakriti, Pathway is Innovative Planning, Project Level 1, Project 2. Evaluator was DTM MU Bhatt. Toastmaster Latha conducted the table topic session, and the following were the speakers. We had 10 speakers in total. The general evaluation was conducted by Toastmaster Supreet. DTM AK Prabhakara inducted the following new members into our club: Toastmaster Malegiri Das, Toastmaster Vaibhav CD, Toastmaster Kushal S, Toastmaster Samad HM, Toastmaster Prajalini Sai Prakash. President Toastmaster Pavni CR made the following announcement. On behalf of the Vice President of Education, Toastmaster Pavni mentioned that all other roles were open for the next meeting, apart from 3 speech slots and the MC role. Interested members were requested to contact Toastmaster Sindhushree about this. In the area level, international speech contest, Toastmaster Balaji AS and Toastmaster Raja Prasad won the first and second prize respectively. The winners of the week were Best Prepaid Speaker Toastmaster Bhavna, Best Evaluator Toastmaster Sindhushree, Best Table Topic Speaker Toastmaster Balaji, Best Role Taker Toastmaster TAPG Jyothi, Best Role Taker TAPG Toastmaster Jyothi, Best Role Taker NTG Toastmaster Supri. The President closed the meeting at 8:24 p.m. followed by the National Anthem. Thank you and back to Toastmasters.
Small note of correction, because we will continue to the Evaluator and give me so not good. Thank you.
We can be keep
Yes, sir. We will continue. You can just, Latha can make a note of the Evaluator is Gajendra. Thank you so much. So, are there any corrections made?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I think the announcement of the winner of the contest was stated here.
Yes, sir.
The winners two, and the one who goes to the
next
division
division.
was not stated.
Yes,
First
sir.
one will go, and that has to be incorporated.
Okay, sir. Toastmaster Jyothi.
Toastmaster Balaji will go and take part in the division level contest. That was not stated and recorded. It has to be recorded.
Thank you, sir. So Shreya and Toastmaster Jyothi can just make these corrections and share so that we can share it again with the club. And with that, I shall open the meeting number 1310. Yes, sir.
The idea of pointing it out is that at least one person is listening.
Yes, sir.
Please go.
It's fine. We should always be open to taking feedbacks and making those corrections. And I don't think anybody will mind that. And definitely should bring that up. Is that okay? Okay, cool. Thank you so much. So let's proceed forward with the meeting number 1310. And we have a very interesting theme today, that is Invest in You. How many here in the audience have read Sudhamurthy's books? Toastmaster Jia, Shreya, Shivaprasad, articles, yes. For those who have actually read Sudhamurthy's books, you kind of understand that she speaks through her stories and she kind of reminds all of us about the strength and simplicity, about Indian culture, about all these intricacies of different relationships, intricacies of the way people are, and you kind of respond to different relationships and etc. She speaks about the power of kindness throughout all her books. And I, being a voracious reader, Sudhamurthy was on my top list, and even to this day I kind of go back to reading her books because it feels so welcome to home. It feels so real to who you are and what are the things you have to learn. One such book that really stood out to me, one such book or a simple story that stands out to me even to this day is House of Cards. I read this almost 10 years ago when I was in college. I read this as I was thinking to myself, this is totally not my kind of a book. This is a very family-oriented, wife-oriented book. How am I going to enjoy this? Because it's not science fiction, it's not romance, it's not love story. Then I thought to myself, okay, let me read Sudhamurthy's book because everybody keeps praising about it. And trust me, for those who have not read the book, you should definitely pick one of her books and read them. Irrespective of whichever background you're from, irrespective of whether you find it interesting or not. Because once you complete it, it leaves you with a message that lasts throughout your entire life. House of Cards is a story about a person called Mridula, a person from a small village, very talented, very capable, full of potential. She becomes a doctor, and finally one day she falls in love with this person called Sanjay, a fellow doctor. And they both start their happy lives together with the permission of the parents, the permission of the family, and they dream of a very beautiful life, a beautiful career for both of them. Over a period of time, Mridula steps into the role of a mother, and she realizes she cannot give equal time to both her career and her family. So what she does, like every other mother, like every other homemaker in the entire civilization of Indian society, she gives up. She believes that's what a good mother would do. She gives up, she sacrifices, and she urges. Every moment of every day, she'll just work for the entire of the family. She supports Sanjay in his career. She supports her children's education. She just goes about her day in and out, doing the exact same things for countless number of years. One day, she realizes something that's very important. She thinks of that what is given so easily, you do not value that. As the years progress, Sanjay's world grows, his career grows, his ambitions grow, his success grows, and her world remains the same within the four walls. Over a period of time, even her child becomes a surgeon. Even he grows to go on to make a beautiful life for himself, but she remains where she was exactly. And Mridula thinks to herself, what did I do? If I turn back and look back and see, what about my dreams? What about my ambitions? Was it not important? Did anybody ask me about it? While she worked tirelessly to make sure everybody in the family had everything and everybody was well taken care of, nobody stopped a moment to ask, are you happy? Do you have your own dreams? What are you doing for the day? Very simple basics questions. How often or how many of you can relate to this very simple story? Mothers, are endless caregiver. She gives endless love to everybody for any given point of time. She often forgets to take care of herself while she's taking care of everybody else in the family. She holds the entire family together but forgets to hold on to her own self. So what I would like to say to all those mothers who keep giving while forgetting to refill their own cup, invest in yourself, invest in your happiness, invest in your dreams, revisit those ambitions or dreams you forgot like 10 years ago. It's definitely worth it to hold on to them. Because end of the day, only if a mom or a mother can take care of herself, only then the family grows. And with that, I would like to say, well, all of us talk about career, business, opportunity, leadership, communication skills. These are as important to everybody, including a person who's taking care of you. While speaking about investing in yourself, there is one person or spokesperson for this particular topic in our club who has 20 plus years of experience in communication and leadership oriented topics, who is has a corporate experience for more than 20 plus years. To revisit her and her own dreams of passion, she kind of enjoys reading, traveling, loving reading books, loving music, and traveling around the world. And with a huge round of applause, please welcome Toastmaster Latha for the day.
Invest in as much of yourself as you can. Invest in as much of yourself as you can. You are your own biggest asset by far. You are your own asset by far. That is the wording of Warren Buffett. Invest in yourself means utilizing your resources to better yourself and to have a better quality of life. Now, there's a character, and I would not name her, I would tell her determined X. Let her keep her X. Now, she starts schooling, she starts her college life, and she sees people who are better than herself. Now, she goes out and she wants to understand, how do I make myself better? How I can do things which will help me achieve my dreams. So she goes out in the world and she tries finding ways how I can invest in myself. The first thing what she understood was reading. Someone told her, read a lot of books, X. The more you read books, you understand how the world is. You see the world through the books. You understand people. You understand what's going on, how to manage situations. Maybe it's theoretical, but it will help you take the first step. So she started reading a lot of books, variety of books, self-help books, which started shaping her personality. Then she thought, okay, let me take one more step further. Let me find another way also how I can improve myself. Then she started looking at networking. Now, networking is the key word now, everyone says. It's not your skill sets, it's not how you talk, how you behave is going to get you jobs, offers, this is everything. How much you know people, how you're connected to people, how people know you, perceive you. That's what brings you business, brings you to your goals. So she started networking. She started getting on other sites like LinkedIn, other social media sites. She started going to events, she started participating in events, and she started building rapport with people. That also helped her a lot, improve her. Then she thought, okay, let me try something else more to improve my life. Then she started traveling. She always said, travel not to near places. Travel far. Travel to unknown places. Travel to unknown cultures. Travel to places what you don't know about. Go into mysteries. This will help you to understand what the world is, how the people are, and that will help you improving yourself. That is an investment. Travel has always been an investment for a person. Next, then she thought, okay, I've done all these things. Now what do I do next? She's not happy with whatever she's done until now because she's not getting what she wants out of her. She's not seeing that much improvement what she's seeing. Then she told, okay, she understood the problem. How? She spoke to one of her friends. What happened there? She said very openly, X, you're in your comfort zone. You do what you like, you're comfortable with. So, if you want to improve, do better, come out of your comfort zone. That was one of the biggest fears X was having. She had to come out of her comfort zone and then do things which will help her to improve. That's when the real investment starts. Coming out of your comfort zone, doing things what you are not comfortable, you're very scared of. Taking that one step is the key to investing. So she tried that. It took time for X to do all this. But she came slow, step by step, she came out of her comfort zone. And then that was one kind of an investment what she did. Then she said, okay, I've done all this. These are the key things people spoke about. I'm happy. Now what do I do for the next step? It's like what is step 1, step 2, step 3. So next step what do I do? She said, okay, I'm in the corporate world. Tomorrow I'm aiming for promotion. Whatever skill sets I have now, if I'm only sitting with that skill sets, I'm not going to get a promotion. I'm not going to get a good hike. I'm not going to get anything what I want. The hard work what I've done for 12 months. So she started developing skills. She started talking to her mentors. And one step what she did was she joined Toastmasters to improve her communication skills and leadership skills. Where they tell the tagline is when leaders are made. That's the tagline of Toastmasters. She joined Toastmasters to develop her skills. Here she came, she got to travel at certain places, she did good networking, she improved her communication skills, and a lot of other skills she started developing. And she started understanding how the outer world is. So that was one of the key. And then she told, okay, I have all these skills, but I have to invest in one more key skill. Can anyone guess what is the most important skill what we need to invest in?
Public speaking.
Yes, public speaking she did Toastmasters. But to do all that, that is one key element we require. Because if that is not there, we can't do further.
Mental peace, investing in herself.
Investing in herself, yes, you're very clear. You're very nearby. Mental peace, she started investing in her health. Because if you don't invest in her health, all these investments what she done is going to be in mind. So she started taking off her mental health, physical health, emotional health. Because nowadays we see there are a lot of people who are the emotional wellness is the key right now. People with that. So she started investing in that. She thinks, okay, when I've invested so much on myself, it is the health what I have to invest in. So she started doing yoga, meditation, all the exercises what it requires. And in all these steps, she's a happy person now. She's a skilled person now. And now she feels, yes, the years of investing in myself, whatever effort I put, is giving me the fruit, is giving me the benefit. At this juncture, I would like to keep you guessing who that X was.
Latha.
Thank you for guessing. Yes, that was me who took all these steps to invest, and after around 20-21 years, I would tell that I'm at a happy space where I see that whatever investment I've done on myself is giving me. So I always tell people, invest in yourself. That is the only asset you can have. You can have to invest in stock markets, you can get financial gains, but that will be not your real asset. Invest in yourself, be a better version of yourself, what you are today, and that is what is going to take you forward. Now, taking to the next step. Imagine walking into your next presentation with complete confidence. Picture yourself leading team meetings that inspire action. See yourself communicating your thoughts with clarity and impact. This is what our visionary had 100 years back, and he bought Toastmasters. And this is none other than our visionary Rashid Medley, who started this organization by name Toastmasters in the year 1924 at YMCA Santa Ana in United States. Now, this vision is shared by 270,000 Toastmasters, around 14,000 clubs in 150 countries. And one of the esteemed club is our club, that is Mekong Communication Club, which started in the year 1998. Now, for the benefit of the guests, a typical Toastmaster meeting has three sections. The first is the prepared speech, second is the table topics, third is the general evaluation. Now, what happens in the prepared speech? The prepared speech section, we have speakers who are prepared in advance over here and come and do the come behind the lectern and do the prepared speeches over there, which are being evaluated by the individual evaluators. They are given time and it's not impromptu speaking. The second is table topics, wherein the table topic master gives you a topic and it's going to be an impromptu speaking where you need to speak for 2 minutes behind the lectern. The third is the general evaluation, wherein the general evaluator evaluates and gives the whole feedback for the whole session, what has happened for the day. Now, all this cannot be done alone. So, we have a team, that is the TAPG team, which helps us in the smooth conduct of the meeting. Now, I would like to call upon the TAPG members. I would request them to stand wherever they are and please explain the role what they have. The first, I would like to call upon timer Toastmaster Sudeep to explain his role, please.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Here at Mekong Communication Club, we run a tight ship, and for that we need to keep track of certain important attributes, and one such important attribute is time. We want the meetings to start and end at appropriate times, and we also want the speech to take up the allocated range of time. Today, as my role as the timer, I shall help the speakers keep track of their times. I have 3 flags with me, which I shall be raising at different points in the speeches. There's the green flag, the yellow flag, and the red flag. The green flag is raised when you have reached the minimum allocated time. The yellow flag is when you start approaching the maximum allocated time for your speech, and the red is when you have crossed the maximum allocated time for your speech. The prepared speech has the checkpoints at 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and 7 minutes. The evaluation has times at 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and 3 minutes. And the table topic speeches have the checkpoints at 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, and 2 minutes. I shall give the report towards the end of the meeting.
Thank you. Next, I would like to call upon our counter for the day, Toastmaster Malegiri Das.
The Toastmasters and guests, good evening. The purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds which are used as a crutch or pause words by anyone who speaks during the meeting. I will listen for repeated or overused words or words that don't add value to a speech, including and, well, so, I mean, you know, etc. I will also listen for filler words, including etc. When called upon, I will submit my report.
Thank you. Our remaining for the day, Toastmaster Vaibhav.
Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, good evening. I have 2 distinct roles today. As a grammarian, I'll pay close attention and take note of great and not so great usages of the English language. As the word master, it is my pleasure to introduce the word of the day, which is effervescent, which means full of energy, excitement, and enthusiasm. The usage is given on the board. When called upon, I will present my report on the use of language during the meeting. Hope we have an effervescent meeting today.
Next, I would like to call the Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator Toastmaster Gajendra.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guest speaker. We just have a few rules so that the meeting can go smoothly. First rule, please enter and exit the room only when applause. Second rule, don't talk about sex, religion, and politics. And third rule is no cross talks. And we have 3 speakers today, and they all work hard. So please please avoid using your phone so that you can give all your attention to the speakers. Thank you.
Now heading for the first section, that is a prepared speech. Before calling upon our first speaker, I would like to call upon the evaluator Toastmaster Chetan to read out the project guidelines.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. So this project comes with 2 parts. Today is the first part, and he'll apply the feedback from today in a future speech.
Our first speaker for the day is an engineer by education with experience in business development and partnerships. He is an avid history buff, interested in sociology, weight training, and loves running. He's attending his level 1 project 4 in the pathway of persuasive influence with the title Born to Run. I would like you guys to give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Madhusudan with the title Born to Run.
I don't know if we each have a destiny, or we're all just floating accidentally, like on a breeze. Maybe both are happening at the same time. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. Did you know that we humans have a superpower deep in our DNA? This has shaped our history, our mode of survival, and even has led to our happiness. Did you know that this superpower is our ability to run? Have you ever thought that humans were born to run? So, running is as old as humanity itself. Before we even built cities or invented the wheel, we ran. Researchers believe that we as humans have a unique ability where we can sweat and regulate our body temperature, which allows us to run for long distances. And this was precisely used by our ancestors. Our ancestors used to run behind prey, and since they could run for long distances, they would run until the prey would collapse. So in a sense, running was more than just a way to travel. It was also a way to survive. Now, I don't know if you'd believe it or not, but in this day and age, people still run long distances. And no, I'm not talking about ultra runners. I'm talking about indigenous people. Specifically, one of the most fascinating examples I've come across is a tribe in Mexico. It's called as the Tarahumara tribe. And these indigenous people have perfected and mastered the art of running because they're able to run hundreds of miles at a stretch with ease, in barefoot or just by wearing thin sandals. And they're not fueled by energy bars, they're fueled by a diet of corn and beans, and more importantly, pure joy. For these people, running is a way of life. For them, it isn't a chore or a competition. For them, running is about connecting with their ancestors, with nature, and it is a celebration to them. Speaking of celebrations, I'm sure most of you would know the origin story of one of the most celebrated races that runners run. No prizes for guessing what it is. It is the marathon. So the story goes that in 490 BC, a Greek soldier named Phidippides ran from the battlefield of Marathon to Athens, a distance of around 26 miles. He had to deliver news of victory over the Persians. He ran and he reached the place. But as soon as he reached exhausted, he collapsed in kind. This run has served as an inspiration and a challenge for many people across the world, millions. I'd like to say I am also one of those people who's been inspired by this run. But for me, running is not a mere exercise. For me, running is my Eden. I find running to be very poetic because when you break it down, running simplifies what life is to its core. It is all about movement, breath, and rhythm. Back in 2018, when I was in my final year of engineering, I took up running. And I didn't know that running could change me as a person. I thought running would be a good way of meeting new people and also doing a bit of exercise on the side. But it led to something else altogether. Running helped me in clearing my mind, in teaching me how to focus, and it taught me perseverance. Because every time I run, I am reminded of the fact that the only competition that I have is with the person I was yesterday. So I invite each of you, whether you're a runner or someone who's not run since childhood, to rediscover the joy of running. Because running almost feels transcendental and it is cathartic. Now, remember the quote about destiny I said at the beginning? Well, I'm not the one saying that. That is said by Tom Hanks' character Forrest in the movie Forrest Gump, one of my favorite movies. So, Forrest, after running for miles and miles, reflects and he says this. And I don't know why, but it resonated with me. I don't know if it was destiny or if it was an accident, how I found running, but I'm really glad that I did. So take that first step to run just like me, because you might encounter incredible things. You might find freedom, you might find clarity, or you might find magical moments which make you say, just like Forrest, I couldn't tell where heaven stopped and earth began. Thank you.
Before calling upon our speaker number 2, I would like to call upon her evaluator, Toastmaster Jyothi, to read out the project guidelines.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of this speaker, of this project of the speaker, is to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance a speech. The note for the evaluator is, during the completion of this project, the member has spent time learning about and practicing their body language, including gestures and other non-verbal communication, along with their vocal variety, including pace, tone and pitch and volume. About this speech, the member will present a well-organized speech on any topic. Watch for the member's awareness of their intentional and unintentional movement and body language. Note distracting movements as well as movements that enhance the speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. Use this evaluation for the speaker who have indicated they want to be evaluated on body language or body language and vocal variety. If the member has indicated they only want to be evaluated on vocal variety, please use the speech profile available on the base camp. Thank you, and back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Our speaker number 2 is currently pursuing her BA in Psychology and HR Management. She is passionate about dancing, singing, cooking and reading books, and she is deeply committed to her religion. She is attempting her Level 1 Project 3 in the Pathway Presentation Mastery with the title Relationship That Matters. Relationship that matters. Please give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Jia.
Mama, please tell him to not hit me. Oops, you scared me, but I'll still hit you. Don't you dare touch me again. Or what would you do? Oh, you're being very smart, huh? Let Dad come. I'll tell what being smart is. Please don't tell Dad, or else I'll cut my hand. Haha, got you. Master of Ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters, and esteemed guests. I'm sure you might have guessed who this conversation belongs to. Yeah, you're right. It's me and my sibling. Siblings are the most beautiful and chaotic relationship in the world. They are the only people who can drive you absolutely crazy at being your biggest supporter. That day, he actually cut his hand because I was about to complain my dad about his mischief. His hand was bleeding, but I was enjoying. I barely cared. I wasn't sensitive at all, but it wasn't my fault. He made me strong. He used to watch WWE on TV and try those stupid tricks on me. He used to treat me like his brother and not his sister. He was the one who made my life miserable. And then the day came. There was a time when I was sensitive, when I was 3 years old. I, a pure soul, innocent child, innocent kid, barely knew about the cruelty of the world. And then there was my brother. He came and said me in an emotional tone, Jia, the camera is hitting me. Wait, what? Yes, he sighed dramatically, rubbing his arm. See, it's hurting. And that was it. I marched to that camera, hands on my waist, angrily looking at the camera and explaining that, listen, you can't hit him, okay? You have to be kind to everyone. I was giving full lecture to a camera. And the worst part, I still have that video. Proof of my ultimate stupidity. Meanwhile, my brother was rolling on the floor laughing. And then there was a day where my brother came to me. He said, I'm surprising you something, so Jia, please close your eyes. And trust me, that was more shocking than an earthquake. But still I trusted him. I closed my eyes. I was thinking, why can't this earth would do something nice for me? But no, okay, let me give him a chance. I closed my eyes, and the next thing I knew was burning, unbearable pain, because he applied Xandu balm on my eyelids. And okay, I cried, I screamed. He got panicked. He was like, Jia, kuch nahi hoga. I have a remedy. Don't worry. He took me to the terrace. Did he actually have a remedy? No. He just didn't want anyone to hear me scream or worse, complain. And just to make sure I wouldn't snitch, he did the unthinkable. He applied the balm on his eyes too. And then we both sat together under the sun. We laughed. Yeah, but the pain got faded, so it's okay. And I still remember those days when my dad used to scold him, and I used to watch him silently, teasing him. But yeah, I got in trouble again. I made sure I took full advantage of the fact that my parents loved me more. Or at least that's what I like to believe. And I made sure he knew it. But he had his own ways to get back at me. Whenever my mother used to go out of the house, he used to push me out and lock the door and said me, Jia, if you want to come in, get me a gola. Poor me. That back then, there was a bond. He made my life miserable, as I said. And then the day came. The day that shook my existence. He turned 26 and said the words I never expected. Jia, I'm going to see a girl. Wait, what? I laughed. Bhaiya, you don't even like you. I was so sure, absolutely sure that no girl on this planet would ever be enough for him. But then he agreed. Wait, like seriously? Yes. Like seriously? Yes. I was happy, but also confused. How will this go? Would she be able to understand his nonsense? Would she be able to handle his tricks? Would she survive? Million thoughts flooded my mind. But deep down, I knew. No matter what, I knew him. Whoever the girl is, she was about to get the most beautiful relationship of her life. Because if there's one thing I have learned over the years, is that my brother was my biggest supporter and he was a blessing in the disguise. He have been my biggest headache but still a greatest strength. Our bond, no matter what, no matter how old we grow, our bond is unbreakable and yeah, thank you so much. Back to you.
Before calling upon a speaker number 3, I would like to call upon the evaluator Toastmaster Balaji to read out the project guidelines.
Good evening, everyone. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing and presenting a longer speech. Timer, please note this speech is going to be for 18 to 22 minutes. Here the member can choose to engage the audience through his humor, content or motivation.
Our speaker number 3 is the immediate past president of Mekong Communication Club. He is a qualified US CPA and an MCOM graduate from Jain University. At Toastmasters, he's been a winner at various humorous speech contests and also winners in evaluation and table topic contests. He's a straightforward and a curious person, a passionate quizzer who loves playing table tennis, cricket and badminton. He's a gaming enthusiast who loves crime and treasure rocks. He's attempting his level 5 elective project in the pathway effective coaching with the title Something's Not Right. With the title Something's Not Right, please give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Shivaprasad Sharma.
Just last weekend, I was there in Mangalore, my native, and since we stay close to the sea, I decided to get up early in the morning and pay the beach a visit. So there I was in Tannir Bavi beach, staring at the vast Arabian Sea in front of me. And right at the horizon, as I was staring at it, I could see a bright orange sun rising up in the sky. Wait a second. Is everything all right in my speech?
No. No.
Some of you have made out. What is it? Can you tell me?
The sun sets inside.
Thank you, Gajendra. Exactly. Never in a million years, or maybe in 1,000 years, standing at the beach in Mangalore, staring at the Arabian Sea, could you see the sun rising? Why? The sun rises in the east. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and esteemed guests. This feeling that some of you might have experienced just now, it's what I call something's not right. In fact, something's not right is the feeling that sets everything right in your life. I believe that when you have this feeling, whenever you've had it in the past, at times you might have ignored it. At times somebody else might have told you that you're just overthinking. Let it go, just keep going. And later on, you might have regretted not listening to your heart. This feeling that you've had today is probably not the first time and will definitely not be the last. Now let me tell you about a time when I felt that something wasn't right. Several years ago, going shopping with my dad. Shopping for what? Button down long sleeve shirts, just like the one I'm wearing today. One thing you need to know about my dad, he lacks patience, especially when going shopping. So there we are, we walk into that clothing store and we are greeted by this enthusiastic, effervescent store attendant. Sir, how can I help you? And I tell him my shirt size, I had like a couple of shirts in this, and I just pick out my favorite design. He gives me a couple of shirts. I walk into the trial room to try them on. I put on one shirt, I'm looking in the mirror, feels good, looks good. And then, because it's a long sleeve shirt, I try to button the button at my wrist, and I can notice that the sleeve ends right here on my forearm instead of the entire arm. Sleeve is too short. I was dejected. I walk out and I tell this to the store attendant. No sir, not at all, not a problem. See, little bit tall you are, no. That is why it's happening. All you have to do, roll up your sleeve, see like this, and you will look. He used a 4-letter word, but let me just say nice. I was not convinced. I said, bring me the next size. And in the distance, I can see my father prancing to and fro. And I knew I didn't have much time left. So he brings me 2 more shirts in a bigger size. I go back in the trial room. This time I'm frustrated. I put on the shirt, and the first thing I look at is the arm. And I'm very happy. The sleeve ends right at my wrist. Perfect. And then I turn my head and look at myself in the mirror. The seams on the shoulder were drooping down from my shoulder itself. Clearly, the shirt was too big for me. I walk out once again dejected. This time my dad and the store attendant are standing in front of me. Store attendant is super excited. Sir, perfect. See, the arm is long enough. I tell him, no, see, it's a little bit big. No, sir, today, this is only the fashion. I'll tell you, the youth today, they are wearing something called oversized clothing. Everybody wears oversized. Don't worry. And my dad is standing next to him. Yeah, no problem at all. See, in 2 years you'll become bigger. Shirt will fit properly. What is the problem? Let's buy and go. I'll tell you one thing about oversized clothing. Big guys like Gajendra or Saketh put them on, they look good. If I put on oversized clothing, you'll ask me, Shiva, since how many days have you been keeping a fast? I was just not convinced. Even though there was so much pressure on me, I knew that day, if I were to purchase those shirts and go home, I would probably not wear them at all because something wasn't right. My fellow Toastmasters, irrespective of how enthusiastic you are about your clothing, give me a raise of hands if you have at least that one beautiful antique piece sitting in your wardrobe that you just never wear. It is just lying there. It never sees the light of day. It is sitting there like whiskey aging in oak barrels. You say to yourself, I will wear this one day, but that one day never comes. Why? Something's not right. You try it on once in a while, you know, I don't feel good wearing this. And I had a similar feeling that day. And guess what? After spending an hour in that clothing store, I went back home with 0 shirts, while my dad had purchased 5 shirts for himself. But not to worry, a couple of weeks later, my patience paid off. We went into another clothing store and purchased shirts that were in between these 2 sizes. And I've worn them for at least 2-3 years now. One of them I'm wearing right now. So no matter how trivial the matter, if it takes you a little extra time, it costs a little bit of patience. When something's not right, when your mind points it out, you better be listening. Great, now he has nice shirts to wear. What to do? He also needs a career. And I think several times in the past I have mentioned that I used to be a student of the Chartered Accountancy course, the gold standard, the absolute standard in the Indian financial industry. And I always used to be an above average student. So all my teachers, my parents, my relatives, everybody naturally thought Shiva will do CA. I asked them, what about the other people who are not scoring marks? They will do MBA. Okay, I said CA has just 2 letters, maybe I can try it out. I jump into the course, I give the entrance exam. That itself was a shock, it was rigorous, but I managed to pass it in the first attempt. Moving on, there is CA Intermediate, the second level where you actually get a taste for what Chartered Accountancy is. Your task is cut out for you in front of you. All you have to do, read through voluminous amounts of information, understand a lot of concepts, learn their application, remember all of it, and then most importantly, learn to reproduce it in the exam in a way the examiner wants. This last part of my previous sentence was my biggest problem. You see, in life you can learn anything that is remotely interesting. You can torture yourself, revise it several times and then ensure that you remember it. And then you can even ensure that you understand it. But writing it, those long theoretical answers in a certain way, or else I won't get marks, that was a different story. You know, subjects like auditing, enterprise information systems, or even information, or even strategic management, these subjects were my Waterloo. Every time I'd sit to study them, my brain would say, bye, I'll come back when you're doing something far more interesting. I'd try my best making notes, recording them, revising them again and again, and I would feel like I was working on the yellow line of the Bangalore metro. Work has started, but there is no progress and there is no end in sight. At some point in late 2018, early 2019, my brain did tell me, Shiva, something's not right. But I chose to ignore it, given the ample motivation in the CA student industry. If you're not passing exams, you're not working hard. Again, I was not passing exams, and eventually, as fate would have it, the pandemic hit. Everything came to a standstill. And this time, I saw an alternative course being advertised on the internet. This time too, I had to do the exact same thing. Read through voluminous amounts of information, remember everything, understand the concepts, the application, but then I didn't have to reproduce it in a certain manner in the exam. Game changer. I passed all the exams and now I'm about to enter my first job. But it was not easy. Quitting a course that I had spent 3 or 4 years on, CA, didn't come easy to me. You see, everybody tells you that if you're not passing the exams, then you're probably not working hard, and I thought so too. I probably am lazy, I just don't have the ability to do it. And 3 or 4 years later, having spent time studying for the other course, I can tell you I definitely have it in me to work hard. The only problem was I was working hard at the wrong place. And this was a simple case. After deep introspection, I realized, something's not right. And therefore, I took a decision to change. Well, great. Whenever life tells you that something's not right, you better listen, whether it is a shirt or a career-changing move. And while I was making this shift from CA to CPA, simultaneously after the pandemic, I was sitting at home, not doing much. And thereafter, I found a table tennis class. And I also found, at the same time, a place where I could come and give speeches, Toastmasters. I joined Toastmasters, and this is probably one of the best decisions I've made. And I gave several speeches, I took on roles in the executive committee, served as a sergeant, VP membership, etc. And I finally got the opportunity to be the president of the club for the past 6 months. An honor that not many get. 2 weeks into my presidency, I get a call from the principal of a school. All of you don't know. He tells me, Shiva, we are having this event at our school for young kids. For 30 days, there have been a bunch of trainers who've trained them in public speaking. And they are now ready to give their first ever speech in public in front of all their parents. And for this event, we need a chief guest. Can you be the chief guest, Shiva? For a second, my heart skipped a beat, almost stopped. Me, chief guest? Yes, Shiva, you. I mean, what have I done to become chief guest? You haven't seen what I do on the weekends. He then goes on to tell me what he thinks about me. But in the end, he concludes by saying, you are the president of one of the most prestigious clubs. That should tell you something about yourself. And you are the right person for this event. And I mentally wrestle with my worst enemy called thinking. And I finally say, done. I'm here to be uncomfortable. I will do this as well. The day of the event came, I had to prepare a short speech for my chief guest address. I didn't know absolutely what to speak on. I prepared a short speech, afraid of taking up too much time. And then, evening arrived. I needed to get dressed to leave for the event. Now, you might think it's a no-brainer. put on a blazer, put on your formal wear, shoes and leave. But that day, I had to use 200% of my brain. All of you know about US presidents. Every time you see them, each one of them, they are dressed fully in suits, very elegant. But there was this one president, Barack Obama. Every now and then he'd go casual. Every now and then he'd ditch the necktie that he was wearing, simply to show the people that he was more approachable, that he was one amongst them. I said, I'll do that today. Young kids will be there. If I go in a blazer, they might think he's somebody else. So I ditch everything. I put on a simple button-down white plain t-shirt, khaki chinos, leather sandals, and I leave for the event. I arrive at the auditorium and I can hear the excited chatter of all the parents and the students there. I particularly spot 4 individuals dressed elegantly in their navy blue suits. And not just that, their jacket lapels were decorated with beautiful medals, pins, etc. that they had won. I came to know that they were from an organization similar to Toastmasters. And they were the ones who had trained the kids. And not just that, they were going to sit with me on stage as guests for the event. So just imagine this, 5 people on stage. 2 on my left, 2 on my right, dressed in beautiful suits, and 1 guy in the middle looking like he has no idea what he's doing. The event commences. A young girl is tasked with introducing everyone. The very first introduction that she gives is that of the chief guest. I receive a marvelous introduction. Everyone begins applauding, and as soon as it is done, I get up from my chair to go and deliver my chief guest address. And I hear a soft voice from behind. Shiva, not now, will tell you when to go. Sheepishly, I come back and fall back on my chair. And I'm mentally beating myself up. If I had at least an ounce of common sense, if I knew how to be a chief guest, I would have inquired in advance when I should be speaking. But I didn't do that. I'm not fit to be here. Something's not right. But it's okay, I'll sit here. The event moves forward. I get my chance to deliver my address. Kid after kid comes on stage, delivers their prepared speech. And after every kid spoke, somebody had to give them a certificate and a chocolate. And at times they would call me up, sir, please give. And all of it seemed extremely awkward to me. And after the whole event came to a close, they had to honor this honorable chief guest. So they put a chair right on the center of the stage and had me sit on it. And then they bestow me with several goodies, several mementos, several books, a plant, etc. And I'm carrying all that on my lap here. And the lights are looking at me, everybody's clapping. And with every fiber of muscle in my body, I am trying my best to do one thing. Force a smile on my face, but it's not coming. Tell me, my fellow Toastmasters, when your soul has left your body half an hour ago, citing the reason, something's not right, something's definitely not right, where will that smile come from? It never came. The event came to a close and then dinner was served after the event. I walked up to this principal, almost half dead, and I asked him the question that was bugging me. Why me? Did I really deserve all that I got? At this point, he knew I was beyond convincing. He just told me something simple. Shiva, it is the other way around. If you're getting bestowed with a lot of love and respect in your life, it is because you deserve it. It's not the other way around. And more importantly, when you're receiving all of this love from people around you, your job is to accept it wholeheartedly and not question why I'm receiving all of this. Immediately something happened. My soul, which was 100 meters away, came running back. I became whole again. And I realized all throughout that event, for those 2.5, 3 hours that I was sitting there, my mind that was screaming, something's not right, that something was my perspective about myself. You see, I hadn't learned to value myself as much as others valued me. I hadn't learned that I was a human being capable of contributing to the society around me and that I can do something for the people around me. And more than that, I had to be grateful for what I was getting. And just imagine if 3 years back, I hadn't felt something wasn't right and joined Toastmasters and then come to this event. this change in perspective would never have come. I would still have that loser mentality that I am still a nobody. So my fellow Toastmasters, that change came to me and several other changes because I listened to my heart when it said something wasn't right. Whether it is a simple change in a shirt size or shift in a course, a career changing move that can affect your life, or a shift in your perspective wherein you believe in yourself and learn that you are worth a lot more than you thought. It all begins with something's not right. Oh, and that evening, I promptly did go back to the beach in Mangalore. I saw the sun in his rightful place, about to dip himself, glorious, majestic, into the Arabian Sea. And as he was going down, I stood there, and in a surprising turn of events, the sun spoke to me. He had a deep voice. Shiva, all this is fine. Something's not right, something's not right. You've only spoken about yourself for 18 minutes. Think about all the other people out there who've had this feeling bugging them for so long. Think about all the potential, all the willingness to work hard, all the energy that they have. But simply because at some point when their mind told them that something wasn't right, they didn't listen. And then they didn't listen a second time, and then a third time. And then it went on. It became a habit. And they became numb to this feeling that their mind was giving them. And several years later, they sit there asking themselves, what has happened with my life? Well, you probably didn't listen when something wasn't right. Because it all begins with something wasn't right. So go out there and tell them your story. I said, fine man, great advice, thank you. Wait, did I just tell all of you that the sun was speaking to me? Yeah, I've been speaking for too long. I seem to have lost it. Something's not right, Master of Ceremonies.
After having 3 excellent speeches, let's move on to the second section of a Toastmaster meeting, the most exciting one, that is the table topics. The table topics master for today, she has worked with an applied research engineer for the last couple of years. She's graduated from NYU with a master's degree and works at the industrial leading research groups such as Sony, MERL and Warfare. Her hobbies include sailing, taekwondo and reading and hiking. With huge round of applause, please welcome our table topic master for the day, Toastmaster Rachana.
Good evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. Now, to make sure we're all on the same page, I'm going to, let everyone know how table topics works. So, I will name a topic and then call upon anyone in the room at random, and it could be anyone, so be ready. The person needs to come up here and speak for 1 to 2 minutes, and to challenge yourself, use the word of the day, effervescent. Alright, now that we're on the same page, let's get started. A while ago, I came across an interesting article about how and when women were permitted in Toastmasters. And this led me down a wide and deep rabbit hole about other interesting facts about Toastmasters history. So, today, in keeping in mind that the centennial celebrations has just completed, I'm going to turn our table topic session into a Toastmasters trivia night. Now, the way it's going to work is, it's a sort of trivia night, not exactly, but the way it's going to work is I will share an interesting fact about Toastmasters and I will name a topic connected with that. That's all. You don't need to know much about the history or any of that sort, so you can all relax. Alright, now let's get started. I'm looking forward to an exciting and effervescent session. Alright, so here's this thing that I came across pretty recently. It's this theory that Ralph C. Smedley named the club Toastmaster because he believed that the the meetings ran like a banquet where a leader was chosen who would act as the MC and then introduce the speakers. Now here's the topic, and listen carefully. If you had to create a club and name it, what would it be about and what would you name it? This topic goes to Toastmaster Sakshi.
Thank you, table topic master, for the effervescent table topic session and the topic which you have given me. If I want to create a club, what will I name it? So, coming back to Toastmasters, what I thought about Toastmasters was, this must be a club where something good they must be providing for eating, like Toastmasters, and at least I will get something to eat which is delicious. So Toastmasters, so that attracted me somehow, and that's how it made me curious to join it. So definitely I am going to name something which connects food, so that everyone joins the club and take the membership. Now, the second thing which I am going to take care about that club is that it should be something so that people invest in themselves. So that, and they should feel good about it. So similar to Toastmasters, maybe something related to Toastmasters only. Maybe, someday I can think of starting my club. This is all about Toastmasters and connecting to my club. Thank you for this effervescent topic. Thank you.
That was an effervescent speech. Alright, next up, this is something very cool. So Helen Blanchard was the first female international president. She joined Toastmasters before women were allowed by sneaking into the club by using initials and a fake name. So here is the topic. Can you tell us about someone who is known for breaking barriers and whom you deeply respect? This topic goes to Toastmaster Prajvini. She's left. Okay. Let's pick someone else. This topic goes to Toastmaster Vaibhav. Of course. Can you tell us about someone who is known for breaking barriers and whom you deeply respect? Someone in the company.
So my topic is someone, first of all, good evening fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So the topic I've been assigned is, who is someone that basically broke rules and who I respect. Most people here would have gone to colleges, more specifically engineering colleges have strict rules for attendance. So initially during my second or third year, first year was obviously in COVID. So second and third, when I went into college, I used to be really scared about attendance. They told, 75% if you don't make the cut, we'll fail you. So I used to go religiously to class, ensure that my attendance is 75%. But there are few people who are absolutely not going to class. I really respect their courage and their courage. What I want to say is those people actually ended up being more successful than me, even though they weren't religiously going to classes. So you shouldn't always be extremely religious. Sometimes you have to color outside the borders, as you could say. So being slightly rebellious, obviously don't break the law or rules, anything like that. But being slightly rebellious is actually what causes evolution in human society. If everyone stuck to their rules and obeyed their bosses religiously, you wouldn't have breakthrough innovations, and the world would be very boring. Thank you.
another interesting fact. Did you know that Toastmasters once had 2 astronauts as part of their number? Astronauts Jim and Wally were once members. So here's the topic. What is a serious hobby that you enjoy spending time on? And please avoid saying sleeping, anything other than that. So this topic goes to Toastmaster Sudeep.
Serious hobby that I enjoy doing. Is that right? Yeah. I think that the thing that comes to my mind is running. I started running in college and it was pretty awesome. I studied in Kharagpur and I used to run outside and there were a lot of villages outside, so it was a great way for me to just unwind and get a sense of achievement and so on. I was running there for about an hour and then I got into a job after that, and sort of my mental health just declined from there, and I started to then I then decided to get back into running again, and I found that okay, I had a very good appetite for it and I was hungry for more. And slowly I started going through 10 kilometers, 21 kilometers, even marathons. And after the marathon was done, I thought, okay, what do I do next? And there was a ultra marathon event that I came across in college. That was of 72 kilometers in Ladakh. And I started preparing for it and I had no idea how to prepare for it. So the first year I tried to do it, I just simply got like horribly injured. But then the next year I came back, I worked with a coach, and as I was consistent and I was doing the right things with food and stretching and just consistency and so on. And yeah, that was a very serious endeavor because I had to sacrifice a lot of weekends were spent sort of running outside and in the Bangalore roads and parks and so on. But yeah, that's doing that event is something that stayed with me, and it's like a very serious hobby for me. Thank you.
In 1997, the world champion of public speaking, Evelyn Jane Burgay, EPM, became the first woman and the first blind person to win the world championship. Here's the topic. In your life, when have you overcome the odds to achieve something? This topic goes to Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa. In your life, when have you overcome the odds to achieve something? Overcome the odds or the barriers. When have you faced obstacles?
Ellargu namaskara. The subject given is when you have overcome the barrier in your life. I completed my graduation. I went to my field. There, I think I have told this again, I will repeat it because it is one of the most things which all of you must know and serve this society. We had a lot of trees in my field. After my graduation, the trees vanished. I asked my father, what happened to the trees? He said, I cut the trees and educated you. My dear Toastmasters, on that day, in my field, in between the tree, I wept. What should I do? I am alone, moreover jobless. What I can do was the big thing haunting me. I have cut the trees and educated. That was the biggest hurdle I got. Forget about I don't have a job. More than that, it was worrying me. I have killed the Mother Earth. That was the biggest thing that I was testing. And God's grace, I came to Bangalore and able to open an industry and became a treasurer of the Electronic City Association. My job was not to count the money, do the debit credit. My job was to hang the trees. I took that opportunity and motivated other people and started planting trees. My chairman asked me, I am not seeing you work in where are you going? Sir, I went, no, I know that very well. You are going to plant the trees, which I was doing it. I am very happy to share with all of you about 6,000 trees which I have planted in Electronic City, grown up the big things. What I need in my life, when I go there, when some of the people come there, I proudly say, you see this street, how beautiful, the trees are like this only. This was the biggest hurdle I got it, and I am very happy to share with you. I want to overcome this one. Where there is a will, there is a way. Thank you very much.
Did you know that there are other types of Toastmasters, like specific hobby-driven clubs? One example is something called Toastmasters in the kitchen, where not only do you have to give a speech, but you also have to cook something while you give a speech about food. We're not going to make you do that today, but here's the topic. If you had to make a speech about your favorite food dish, what would you talk about and why? This topic goes to Toastmaster Saketh.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. If there's a favorite food that I could talk about and make a speech out of it, it would be my love for pizza. Over the years, actually my first ever bite of pizza was in school, I guess first standard, and it was from Domino's. And I didn't know Domino's pizza so good. But over the years, having the same pizza over and over again, I somehow got faded to the taste. So I switched to Pizza Hut. And somehow even Pizza Hut didn't satisfy my need. So I went to Papa John's. I mean, not Papa John's, what was the one? La Pino. And somehow even La Pino didn't satisfy me, and that's when I had my calling for a sourdough pizza, a pure Neapolitan style pizza. And the way they make it, it's so artistic. I feel it's the artist who creates the pizza and who makes it so beautiful. And it's just mouth-watering to just see the process than having the first slice of pizza itself. And if I could make a speech out of it, I would just describe the process and the look on my face when I just see the pizza coming out of the brick oven and just taking out this first slice and having it. So that would be my speech on my favorite food, and back to the table topic.
Alright, here's another hobby club, Worlds of Wonder. That's a Toastmaster club that's based on fantasy and sci-fi. Members hear speeches about time travel, superheroes, and villains. Here's the topic. Do you think there's value in reading or watching fictional stories? This topic goes to Toastmaster Apoorva.
Very good evening to fellow Toastmasters and guests. My topic for the day is, do I think there is value in reading and watching sci-fi movies and fictional stories? So, I feel that I'm of the opinion that sci-fi movies and say superhero movies is good for your imagination to go wild. It's a light-hearted, what I would say is time pass. Like I personally watch a lot of Marvel movies, and initially it's not that very interesting, but once you start watching 2 or 3 movies, you can't stop it because all the movies are connected. There is so much of suspense, and you're very eager to know what it is, what is the next part, and how is this particular character involved in the story. And firstly, do any of you watch Marvel movies? Yes. So I think you guys can relate to it.
we Marvel fans sit and watch till the end of the movie, even after the subtitles and all the, just to know what, just for a 10-second scene, to know what is going to happen in the next part or a relating part, or it not be of the same character as well. It will be of some particular superhero, but we just sit and watch just to know what is the next part, what to expect in the next part. So that is the kind of passion and dedication we have towards the Marvel movies. This is very interesting if you are a Marvel fan. Otherwise, I don't think the other people would actually relate to it at all. So yes, I feel it's a good time pass, and it's also somewhere Marvel. There are many videos made telling that Marvel how the stories like different planets, timelines, time travel, all that is so much related to our ancient society, where we have our ancient stories, our stories which kind of shows that our gods might be superheroes. So yeah, thank you. Over to the
Table Topics is thought to have come out of a request that some members in a California-based club made, where they were asking for more opportunities to talk about the current topics, similar to what happens in a radio program. Here's the topic for today. Can you suggest a new feature that you'd like to add in our club meetings? And the topic goes to Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. Can you suggest a new feature you'd like to see in our meetings?
Thank you, Table Topic Master. Good evening, Toastmasters, welcome guests. We all come here to achieve something, right? There is two things that we need to understand. One is thrill, other one is satisfaction. Thrill, the moment you give a wonderful speech behind the lectern, you are applauded and you are appreciated. That is the thrill we get. Is that end by itself? Do I have the satisfaction of giving a best speech? Is what we need to look into. Because thrill is temporary, right? Satisfaction is permanent. We all come here week after week. Did we ever introspect and understand the difference between thrill and satisfaction? I did achieve this because it so happened 2 years back. I was called in one of the famous defense sectors in India to give a speech to an unknown audience. We come here every week, address only known audience. I had some problem there. I contacted one person who happened to be trained by the most best motivational speaker, Brain Tracy. He gave me some inputs. I went back to the company, applied that in a scale of 1 to 10. My speech was rated by 9. I got a wonderful satisfaction. So this is one thing which we need to understand, the difference between these two, thrill and satisfaction. This is one take on we need to understand. Thank you, and back to you, David.
So, in the 100 years since our club's founding, many Toastmasters, some meetings have been held in pretty strange locations. For example, in 1940, members of the Los Angeles Toastmasters Club held a meeting in an airplane. Here's the topic. What's one place, it could be fictional, non-fictional, anything, one place or location where you would like to have a Toastmasters meeting, and why?
This topic goes to Toastmaster Malegiri Das. What's one location, it could be fictional or not, where you would like to have a Toastmaster meeting and why?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. What is one place where you can host the Toastmasters? Okay, the most beautiful place where I would like to host the Toastmasters is on the bank of Tungabhadra. I go back to this place very often because it lingers in most of my emotions, because I have been through the pristine beaches of this river, where in the evenings the sun would set, and amidst the chirping birds, and sands are so without any obstacles. There are clear sands, nice wind breezing, though it's the hottest part of North Karnataka. In the evenings it will be very cool, with chirping sound of birds, not much of disturbance. It's a beautiful place for anyone to sit and contemplate, and what better place to have host a Toastmasters series. A lot of enlightenment related speeches, where we heard those kind of speeches when on the banks of rivers between 5 to 6 p.m. and it's really beautiful. So definitely that would be the place where it makes you switch, reset and revive, and take a fresh look at life and also the topics. Maybe you will get to hear more of those topics which are closely related to the Mother Earth, where we all belong to at one point in time. So probably, yeah, I think on the shores of the banks of the river is where I would like to host this event. Thank you.
I'm done, I promise. That's it. Alright, so today we learned about how therapeutic running can be, about how our club could have been about eating and speaking, or how the Tungabhadra is a great location for our next meeting. Anyway, with that, I'm going to sign off. Back to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. After having an effervescent prepared speech section and having an effervescent table topic session, we head for a networking break, and that is going to be for 5 minutes. So see you all back after 5 minutes, that is 300 seconds. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, welcome back. After having 2 sessions which are fun-filled and a lot of learning, let's move to the most interesting session what we have, our general evaluation, where we'll be given feedback of what has happened until now and how we can invest in ourselves more better. Our general evaluator for the day is a science graduate with a postgraduate diploma in systems management. She's also completed her course in finance from ECAI. She's actively involved in social development and and being involved in Inner Week, which is one of the world's largest women volunteer service organization, and she has also served as the district chairman for the same. She's also a Rotarian, and she's currently the secretary of a Rotary club. In Mekong, she has held various positions like the Sergeant of Arms, Secretary, Associate VPPR, and she's been the past president. Her interests include reading, traveling, trekking, and yoga. With huge round of applause, please give it to our general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Lalana.
Thank you, Toastmaster Latha, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
As a general evaluator, I'll be reflecting on the proceedings of the meeting with the help of the roll takers and individual evaluators. I'll start off with the meeting. The meeting started at 6:23 p.m., which was a little late. but then people started arriving late, and they also had to fix a couple of TAPG team. So I think it's understandable. However, the business session was crisp, and Acting President Toastmaster Sindhushree gave the update that next week's meeting will be on April 1st, Tuesday instead of Monday. And also an educational session would be held by DTM AK Prabhakara. She also gave an update on renewals for the next term and encouraged the members to renew as well. After that, Acting Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Shreya started the meeting and related to the theme by speaking about some celebrities like Oprah Winfrey and I missed the other fashion icon we spoke about, who had succeeded in their respective professions and lives by investing in themselves. She also made an important observation that it's not only the money that makes you successful, but having consistent habits and investing in yourselves. So I think that was a takeaway from your essay address. Her introduction of the acting president was in fact very elaborate and helped the members to know more about Toastmaster Sindhushree. And as I've observed, Toastmaster Shreya has evolved into one of the best Toastmasters, and she's very consistent and committed, and she usually arrives early before the meeting and sees that the meeting place is set up. And today also, though she was not very early, but still she got into the act quickly and continued to set up the room and all that. So can we have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Shreya? Coming to the President's address, Acting President Toastmaster Sindhushree opened the meeting, followed by the guest introductions, and the Secretary's report was read out by Associate Secretary Toastmaster Jyothi. I'm happy everybody is calling her the Associate Secretary now and not the Acting Secretary, which I pointed out when I last attended the meeting. And in fact, in the meetings, one of the items was missed out, and it was DTM AK Prabhakara who pointed out that Toastmaster Balaji had moved into the next level of the competition, and that was missed out. So this goes on to show that how important listening skills is in our Toastmaster session, which we sometimes tend to miss out. Like most of us were blindly sitting and listening to the minutes, and it would have been passed without that correction, probably if he had not been there in the meeting. So thanks to him for that. And Toastmaster, after that it was the presidential address. And Toastmaster Sindhushree actually slipped into the role of the presiding officer effortlessly, probably due to her previous credentials, as she has been the president earlier and of course as the area director as well. And she also related to the theme by speaking about one of Sudha Murthy's book, which is about Mrudula, who was a doctor and had to give up her profession to take care of her family and children. I think which most women do, and I as a mother maybe could relate to it actually. And she also explained how important it was for a woman in investing herself and also to realize her dreams, just like the others in the family. And many a time, like she's a woman and her dreams are relegated into the background, and it is always the man in the house and the children who are given the importance. And thank you for bringing that out, and maybe all the youngsters in the room, most of them are youngsters, you can think about it. It was really a thought-provoking address. And the introduction of the MC was also good. So can we have a huge round of applause for Toastmasters Sindhushree for the great. We'll have the evaluations of the speeches before I evaluate the other note takers and the table topic master and the MC. So the first speaker was Toastmaster Madhusudan. I request the individual evaluator, Toastmaster Chetan, to evaluate his speech.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests, and my target speaker Madhu in particular. Let's start with the good stuff, and then we'll move on to what you can improve. Firstly, I really enjoyed your use of quotes, sprinkled very memorable things like, I don't know where heaven ends and earth begins. Like, things like this I will remember and use probably later in life. Second, your content of the speech was beautiful, it was very strong, and the purpose of the speech that every one of us is a born runner. All of us have the hidden potential to be a runner, and it's up to us to exploit it later. So the purpose and content was very strong. Third, I enjoyed your personal anecdote as to how running has actually helped you become a better person, be it clearing your mind or becoming more persistent or perseverant. And finally, you used almost no superfluous words, no filler words, and the content was, it flowed beautifully with that. Now let's see where you can improve. I found in your body language there was a lot of careless and purposeless movements, something like this at times, which I think you can really pinpointedly work on by looking at the mirror or looking at your recordings. Second, voice modulation at critical places. For example, when you were mentioning the Turahama tribe, there could be an impact that comes along with saying it. And effective use of pauses as well. So let's say you were saying corn and beans and the other ingredient was fun. So that impact comes only when you give it the pause. And finally, how many of you here in the room know Born to Run is a book? How many of you know that? Right? So when you are quoting a book, it would come under the category of plagiarization if you don't attribute the source. The entire theory, everything you said comes from one book. And it's very important that people in the room know about that. And if you end up doing this at a speech contest, your speech might get disqualified if someone contests it. So that could be a really problematic thing. So let me just summarize. Your use of quotes was excellent, content and purpose strong, personal anecdotes very good, and no superfluous and filler words, excellent. The things that you want to work on, body language, less purposeless movements, more clean, clear and purposeful movements. Second, voice modulation and stress on the right words. Third, the plagiarization aspect. I'm sure you take care of this next time. Thank you, and back to Arshit.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Chetan, for that textbook evaluation, I should say. You started off by highlighting the strengths of the speaker, such as the purpose and the content of the speech, and you also gave his personal example. Your suggestions about the speaker's body language and how he could have improved his voice modulation, which was on track. And it was great that you summarized all this and reiterated how he could take his speech to the next level by taking all these suggestions into consideration. So can we have a huge round of applause for the speaker and the evaluator? The second speech was by Toastmaster Jia. I request the individual evaluator, Toastmaster Jyothi, to evaluate the speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lalana. Good evening, Toastmasters and my target speaker, Toastmaster Jia. First and foremost, the title of Relationship That Matters was really eye-catching, and what you did excelled at was you opened your speech with the mono acting of yourself and your brother, which really like grabbed the audience attention, and it was effervescent. Okay, and you expressed the entire speech with words and gestures. The expressions came out very well, and I resonated the sibling story with lots of love, hate, and care, which happens with most of us who have siblings. Now, what you can work on is pause when you complete one story and start the other one, for the audience to listen and allow it to sink into them and understand it. And maybe the tone and pitch, like when you screamed when your brother gave you the Jandu bomb, you could actually have screamed like, oh, what are you doing? What have you done? It would have made an impact because you have that confidence and the flow was good. And also, maybe the climax, if it had a punchline, like I just wrote something, a little of fight, a bit of hate, more of care, lots of love, binds a relation with waves of joy. Something like to end it with. And what you can challenge yourself is, this entire dais is yours. And you had two people in your speech. So you could take the space and you even move the lectern. So you did have the courage and confidence to do it. Also, the transition from one to another, if you could take it, and at the end, like the message, what is the message of this speech? The importance of relationship, whether it is of a sibling or a person, you could bring out that importance of support in a relationship, which goes on a long way. We fight, we hate, we do tit for tat, whatever we do, but if the support is there and the care is there, it goes a long way. Overall, a well-crafted and delivered speech, I must say, Toastmaster Jia. You have the confidence, and there was sprinkles of humor which you can add on to your next speeches. And this, with a bit of voice modulation, will take your speech a notch higher. And all the best, and back to the team.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jyothi, for that encouraging evaluation. And you touched on all the positive aspects of the speech by speaking about the title and the way she started off her speech with the mono acting and all that. That was nice. And you also showed the way forward by suggesting improvements, like the speaker could have used better voice modulation, and she could have probably had better transitions, and the conclusion could have been more impactful. And you also summarized everything once again. So can we have a round of applause for both the speaker and the evaluator? The third speech was by Toastmaster Shiva. I request the individual evaluator, Toastmaster Balaji, to evaluate the speech.
A fantastic evening to everyone, and to my target speaker, Toastmaster Shiva. When Shiva is here behind the lectern, something's always right. Right? Firstly, I really like the fact that Shiva took up the challenge of giving in his 18 to 22 minute speech. It is not an easy task, ladies and gentlemen, but he did it with such grace. What a fantastic hook to begin with. I was like, what is he talking about? Arabian Sea, sunrise. This is so not Shiva. But then the hook revealed that this is what Shiva is. He got the sun to rise on the west. Right? What a fantastic hook to start off with. I really like the way you started off. And Shiva, I have to tell you, you are a phenomenal storyteller. I didn't even realize that 18 minutes were clocked. I thought there was still a lot of time and I was wondering how can he fit in his message into the thing and how many more stories will he have to say, but then 18 minutes was already clocked. That just means that you're really effortless in storytelling, and storytelling is definitely a space that you need to completely venture into and make the most of it because that's your innate strength. And what I would definitely take home is the message. What a phenomenal message. Something so relatable, something that we all deal with. Do we deserve this? But what a fantastic message. You will definitely get what you deserve. Even if it's a good thing or a bad thing, if you deserve it, you'll get it. And life becomes a lot more easier if you believe in that. So, very well delivered message. At the same time, Shiva, considering your stature and considering your experience with Toastmasters, I also want to share something that was not right with the speech. Right? Because when I heard your speech today, I felt like, okay, something's definitely missing. Some flavor of Shiva, which is a lot more thicker generally, felt a little meek today. Right? First thing is your natural comic timing felt a little flatter today. For example, if it was the Shiva that I know, and if Gajendra wore the oversized t-shirt and you wore the same oversized t-shirt, maybe the person would say, hey, what a body. And then the same person would look at you, hey, where is your body? So, comic timing. So that comic timing was missing is what I felt. And even the shopkeeper, when he comes up to you, oh Shiva, you look very, let me not say that, PPE is here. Nice. So timing, when you hit the timing is where the humor comes out, which is your innate strength, which I felt was not to its best today. I would really want to see you take pauses between stories. I felt there was too much. You're going from one story to another story to another story. While I'm really all in for your storytelling because you keep the audience engaged, but I did not understand what was the purpose of the first two stories. When the third story came in. In the first two story, when something was not right, something was actually not right. In the third story, when you said something is not right, it was actually you that thought. So there is contradiction between the stories you shared, and that's something that I would really want you to consider the next time. Moving on, I would really want you to challenge yourself by just doing Adolescence style. Adolescence is a show on Netflix where just one small scene is stretched to the entire 1 hour 10-minute episode, where each character is built, where each dialogue is coming out. I would really want you to try this style, and with just one instance, one frame, make sure the entire speech is going to engage your audience. This is my challenge to you, and yeah, I know I'm disqualified for the day, but this is what matters the most for me right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Balaji, for that excellent evaluation. Good to have you back. I think you were missing for probably 1 term or 3 months.
I was here. I didn't just not get into Toastmasters, that's it.
I was only listening, I thought. So I like the way you started off, and when you said everything is right when Toastmaster Shiva is behind the lectern, linking the title to your beginning of the evaluation. So you had all the right positive aspects where you spoke about all the salient points of the speech by highlighting all the positive aspects of the speech. But I liked your recommendations better because when people like Toastmaster Shiva speak, we are also engrossed because he's a great speaker. We think everything is right with the speech, and we don't think there is any need for improvement. So like you really sat, observed the speech, and you analyzed the speech, and you could give recommendations. And you also gave proper recommendations, like maybe could have had pauses between the 3 stories he told the audience. And about the natural comic timing, and I like the way you said by giving an example, what a body and where is the body. So that was great. And you also had a suggestion and a summary for him to probably practice on a single instance where he can take it into a proper speech. So great evaluation and a great speech. Can we have a round of applause for both the speaker and the evaluator? So has the polling link been sent to the members? So I hope you all have voted for the speakers and the evaluators. So I would now request the role takers to give their reports. Timer Toastmaster Sudeep.
Thank you, General Evaluator. The meeting started at 6:22. It's supposed to start at 6:15, so that's an area we can improve on. The speakers mostly were on time. Madhusudan, 6 minutes 12 seconds. Chetan, the evaluation by Chetan took 3 minutes. The speech by Jia, 6 minutes 20 seconds. Evaluation by Jyothi, 3 minutes 13 seconds. The speech by Shiva, 19 minutes 36 seconds. And the evaluation by Balaji, 3 minutes 59 seconds, which disqualifies him. The table topic master, the session went on for 25 minutes and the individual timings are noted on the board. That's it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudeep, for explaining your role in the beginning and for giving a report as well. I know some of the new members have taken up the roles today, as I can see. One thing is, when you explain your role, I think you missed the timing of the evaluator. You spoke about the speaker and the table topic speakers. I didn't see you explaining about the evaluator's time, that is 2 to 3 minutes. Maybe
I think I said the correct times.
No,
Yeah.
you didn't say it.
I didn't say?
Yeah, that's why I exceeded timing.
Right, Balaji.
Okay.
So I now invite Toastmaster Das to give his report as the R counter.
Fellow Toastmasters, friends and guests, here is the R counters report. So before that, the thing is, hearing these moving and mesmerizing stories, we tend to forget that we also need to keep these R counters. So I was bowled over by fantastic moving stories. So coming to the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Shreya, there was one word that was used. Acting President Sindhu, 2 hours. Toastmaster of the day, Latha, she started, this was told more than 5 times. Timer didn't find any, Sudeep didn't find anything. Grammarian, Vaibhav, 3 hours. Toastmaster Gajendra didn't find any hours. Speaker 1, Madhusudan didn't find anything, it was flawless. Evaluator speech 1, Chetan 1 hour. Speaker 2, Jia was flawless. Evaluator speech 2, Jyothi 5 hours, and there were some repeated words like he and the day. Shivaprasad flawless. Balaji, Toastmaster Shivaprasad Sharma flawless. Evaluator speech 3, Toastmaster Balaji 1 hour. And then coming to the table topic master, Rachana, 5 hours. Sakshi, 3 hours, and 1 repeated words, 8. Speaker, Toastmaster Vaibhav, around 8 hours. Toastmaster Sudeep, 8 hours, and 2 repeated words like and you know. Veerabhadrappa flawless. Saketh flawless. Apoorva, 6 hours, and 2 times it was repeated. Speaker Vijay Upendra, flawless, and the general evaluator Toastmaster Lalana, flawless.
Toastmaster Das for that detailed report. In spite of listening to the engrossing stories, you managed to record everybody's ahs and ums. Thank you. You also explained your role well. I now invite Grammarian Toastmaster Vaibhav to give his report.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. It was a very effervescent, full evening, I would say. Many people using those words, namely Toastmaster Shivaprasad, Rachana, Sakshi, Toastmaster Latha, using it twice each. Moving on to some of the good usages of the English language. Quote, couldn't tell where heaven stopped and earth began. More shocking than an earthquake. These subjects were my Waterloo. Then moving on to the not so good usages of the English language. Forgot like 10 years ago can be forgot 10 years ago. Let us keep her name as X can be let us name her X. He got panicked can be he panicked. And pain got faded can be pain faded. So that's my report for today. I'm back to the
Thank you, Toastmaster Vaibhav, for that detailed report. You also explained your role well. I now invite Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator Toastmaster Gajendra for his report.
I'll just jump straight to the report. There was one person walking in and out during when there was no applause, which was the guest, so we can just eliminate that. There were no crosstalks anywhere. And during one speech, it was mentioned BC, the time. So what we can use is BCE, that is before Common Era, and for AD, after Common Era.
I'll explain. I think it needs explanation. Scientifically, science uses CE, Common Era. That is before that is before Common Era and after Common Era. So the positioning is same, but here we have to make a habit. One, and second thing is that BC and AD brings in a religion element into it, which should be removed. Is it understood?
Yes.
Yes.
So I have that.
I just want to mention one more thing. I don't know if I should mention this or not. Before making a small comment or like a very small, like the oversized this one joke, I'm a very chill guy, so it's fine with me. But what if I've had a very bad day and I hear this and I get simply angry, my mood will get spoiled. So instead of like simply commenting, and goes to everyone as well, because even I make some comments on Saketh sometimes. That's fine, because we all are friends. But just give a heads up before. That's all. And I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you for that report, Toastmaster Gajendra. I think we should make note of his points and inculcate it in our future speeches and talks. One thing I observed when you explained your role, you missed out on mentioning that members can enter and exit only during applause. And like that only the guest also walked in. So maybe we should mention it so that the guests may not be aware of it. Like they'll come down, somebody will tell them there's a meeting on the 6th floor, they come and open the door. So we should mention it every time so that maybe this time the guest has entered. Next time when he attends a meeting, he'll wait for the applause and then enter.
He entered after I.
But I was observing you didn't mention that point. So can we have a round of applause for all the role takers who ensure that the meetings go on effortlessly each and every. I'll now come to the table topics master, Toastmaster Rachana. She started off by explaining how the table topics session works. And she also had an interesting session where she mentioned that the session would be about Toastmaster Trivia Night, and as expected she also gave many interesting trivia about Toastmasters and its history, about the first woman blind president and all that. That was all fine, but then that took away a lot of time. I feel. And the topics were long. And by the time you spoke about the trivia and the topic and the member came here to speak, many times, like a couple of times I observed, you had to repeat the topic as well. So because of that we lost a lot of time, and as I can see, like only 7 to 8 speakers had to could take the topics. And maybe if we had shorter topics, more members could have had the chance. And I think some of the members didn't get a chance to speak. Like I did see Sai Stehal speaking, and I don't know who else I missed. So maybe you can have shorter topics. As I was observing in last week's minutes, 13 members spoke on table topics at last week's meeting. As I was not present, but I heard from the minutes. So maybe we can shorten the topics, and so that more members get to participate in our meetings. So, but for that, it was an excellent session, and members came to know about a lot of trivia about Toastmasters. So, can we have a huge round of applause to Toastmasters? Now we'll come to the MC, Toastmaster Latha. As we all know, she comes with experience as a trainer and soft skills trainer and corporate trainer as well. And she has chosen an appropriate topic which she could relate to. And she started off by speaking about an imaginary person who sets out to improve herself in various ways, such as reading, traveling, and also improving her skill sets, including joining Toastmasters as well. And of course, we all came to know that it was none other than Toastmaster Latha herself. So then she also realized that after all this, she was still not satisfied. And then she tells us that she realized that investing in your mental and physical health is more important than having all other factors as well to be in a happy space. That was a great session, and definitely a value addition for all of us. We could also relate to it. So that was done very nicely, Toastmaster Latha. And your transition from the theme to the history of Toastmasters also was done very well. And you also went on to explain about the meeting structure of Toastmasters and the introduction of role takers. However, I felt maybe you could have read about the introduction of the speakers and others and told it just like that without reading it from the script. Being an experienced Toastmaster, and you also attend the meetings regularly and you're consistent. So I'm sure you know about most of them. So maybe you could have, instead of reading, you could have just practiced a little bit and spoken about their introduction as well. And yeah, it was a great session, but for that. And thank you for weaving the meeting together effortlessly. And can we have a thunder round of applause? So we had great speeches and wonderful table topics and an effervescent meeting. Let me also use it in the end. So with that, I would like to hand over the charge back to Toastmaster Latha.
I hope you all had a great session with a lot of learning. And at this juncture, I would like to give back the charge to our acting president, Toastmaster Sindhushree.
Thank you, Toastmaster Latha, for opening the mic. Until I get the results of who has won today's meeting, let me not take more time because you've already crossed the time barriers quite a lot. So to end on a very good note, I just want to request our guests to give their feedback because we missed out on one guest who could not introduce himself also. Please introduce yourself to us and tell us how you found the meeting today and what you like the most.
So my name is Shashank, and I came from the Ijura, and my profession is I'm an architect. So I did know about the Toastmaster from my sister, so that's why I joined. I didn't join, but I attended this.
Thank you, thank you, guys, Shashank. I hope you join soon.
Yeah, sure.
And I would like to request the feedback from you as well.
It is an effervescent. To learn something and improve my communication skill and also connect with more people with experience. So I am designing.
Thank you so much. I hope you had a good time. So please, sir.
It was good, lot of learning, and really I'm impressed with that. So
Definitely, thank you so much, Apoorva. I think you have a queue who's already interested to join, and I think this is a wonderful, amazing meeting because it's not every day we get to hear a lot of stories and hear multiple perspectives. So this is a day that you look forward to. This is the day you want everybody to attend the meeting, and I request everybody who comes once in a while, or people who don't often give speeches, and you only focus on table topics, also prepare for your prepared speeches. That's actually a wonderful way to start your Toastmasters journey or continue on. And with that, let me go over to announcing the winners of today's meeting. So the best TAPG goes to none other than our accountant for the day, Toastmaster Malegiri. Please welcome. And the next, our best evaluator for the day goes to Toastmaster Chetan. Please welcome. And the best MTG goes to none other than Toastmaster Lalana. Please welcome her. And our best speaker for the day goes to the person who stood here for more than 18 minutes and delivering a wonderful speech. Please welcome Toastmaster Shiva on the stage. And the best table topic speaker for the day goes to Toastmaster Saketh. Thank you, Toastmaster Shreya. Congratulations to all the winners, and we come close to ending our meeting number 1310. So let's end it with the national anthem and the end join us for